大家好，我是菲菲老师。Welcome back to Miffy Chinese. Today we start lesson 7. Okay, the title of this lesson, 他篮球打得很好。他篮球打得很好。First of all, let's see this the. We've seen it before, right? In the previous lesson, we say that you use this the when, can you recall? When you have the verb first, and then you want to describe how does this action go? What's the result of that action? Right? So here 打 is our verb. 打得很好。很好 is the adjective, right? Is the description of how this action go. So we use this 的 instead of the other two. 他篮球打得很好。All right. First of all, let's see the main objectives, main language points of this lesson. First, we will learn the state of an ongoing action, and then we will learn the contractive complex sentence. Okay, you don't have to memorize this name, but just to know that we will learn a new fixed pattern, which is 一 something, 就 something. Okay, we will explain that in detail later. Right, first, let's listen to the text first. 安妮你是什么时候从北京回来的？昨天下午。天中，你怎么一下课就往外跑？我跟同学说好了，一起去打篮球。我也想跟你们一起玩，没问题，走吧。Okay, so 2 questions. Number 1, 安妮是什么时候从北京回来的？ A, 昨天早上。B, 昨天上午。C, 昨天下午。Okay, and second one, 安妮想跟陈天中去做什么？ A, 去教室。B, 打篮球。C, 去北京。Okay, let's listen to the text again. 安妮，你是什么时候从北京回来的？昨天下午。天中，你怎么一下课就往外跑？我跟同学说好了，一起去打篮球。我也想跟你们一起玩，没问题，走吧。Okay, so first one, 什么时候 When did she come back from Beijing? Here, 从 we will learn this in this lesson. It means from. So 从北京 from Beijing. When did she come back from Beijing? So 你是什么时候 asking? The original text, 昨天下午, right? 昨天下午. So we choose C for this one. And then 安妮想跟陈天中，跟 is what? Remember? 想跟 means with, right? So what does 安妮 wants to do with 陈天中？She wants to 一起去打篮球。So 安妮 said, I want to do it together with you guys too. 我也想去。So 安妮 wants to B 打篮球。C and B. Right, let's see the new words. You can read after me. 从往跑打篮球all right, so first one, we just see it, right? So 从 from, for example, from the text, we say 从北京, right? From Beijing. Or anywhere, 从中国 from 中国 right? So from somewhere. And then we have from somewhere to somewhere, right? So how to say this to? We say 到 right here. Fourth tone 到从 from 到 to. So for example, you can say 从中国到美国 from China to America. 从北京到上海 from Beijing to Shanghai, right? Okay. And then let's see the sample example sentences. 从我家到学校 so from my home to the school 很近 近 is what? 近 very close, right? Or you can also change 近 to 远 which is very far, right? 近 and 远, you can remember these two as a pair, close and far. And then 他昨天从北京回来了. He came back from Beijing yesterday. And then next one, 往. Okay, this is either a preposition word or it's a verb. It means towards or go. Let's see. 往前, towards the front. 往前. And then you say 往外. What is 外? 外, outside, right? Towards the outside. So we have 前. What about back? 后, right? So 往后 is towards the back. 往外, then what about the inside? Can you remember what's inside? 里, right? So 往里, 前后, 外 and 里. All right, for example, 往前走，学校就在前面。往前走, go towards the front or go straight. The school is just at the front. And then 往外看, look outside. Maybe look outside the window, the door. 往外看, look outside. Who's that? 那是谁? Who's that? Next one. 跑. Yes, we probably see this before already. 跑, to run. 跑步, to run or to jog. Yes, also to jog. And then other words related to 跑. For example, the same radical, we can remember them together. 跳, right? Did you see that? So 跑, 跳, they share the same radical. What is this radical? It's actually this one. When standing alone, the pronunciation is 足. It means foot. So actually all of these movements, 跑, running, jump, 跳. Yes, 跳. When you write the pronunciation, and it means jump. They are all related to, they will all include the movement of your feet, right? So you can see the same radical meaning foot to these words, 跑, 跳. 他每天早上6点起床跑步. How do you understand this sentence? 起床 is what? 起床, get up from your bed, right? So he get up every morning 6 o'clock to run. And then 别往外跑了，今天天气不好。往外跑, what is 往外? We just see it, right? 往外, so towards the outside. So here, 别往外跑了, you can understand it like, don't go outside. Right? Today, the weather is not good. 跑. What about to walk? Can you remember what is to walk? It's 走. Third tone, 走. So here, 走, yes, we can mean simply the movement, the action of walking. But sometimes we also say 走 to mean to go. For example, you will hear people say 走吧, right? 走吧. Maybe you are in a restaurant or you're somewhere and then you want to go. You say 走吧, let's go. So this doesn't mean that you are suggesting to walk. This is just to suggest, let's go. Let's get out of here. Let's leave. 走吧. Okay. Next one. 打. So 打 actually has two meanings here. Number one is to play and then play games, normally. Or sometimes also instruments. But not all of the instruments are 打. So some of the instruments are 打. For example, 打鼓, 鼓, drums. 打鼓, play drums. So in English, we just use play. But in Chinese, we actually differentiate the verb. For example, if it's piano, we say 弹钢琴. If it's violin, we say 拉小提琴. 小提琴, violin. 拉, the action of play, violin. Right? So for now, you don't need to memorize all of this, but just to know that 打, not just games, but also some of the instruments we would use 打 to mean play. And the second meaning is to hit, right? This is like when you hit someone, you can say that 我打 someone. It means that I hit someone. For example, here, 打篮球, the meaning in our text is to play basketball, 篮球 basketball. So here is the meaning of play, but a very important meaning of 打 is hit. Also, anything else of 打 that we see before? Do you remember? 打电话, right? When you make a phone call, we also use 打. So actually, a lot of actions that includes your hand, the movement of your hand, we will use 打. So if you're making a phone call, you use your hand to make a phone call. Also, there's another word, 打扮. It means that you dress up, you put on makeup, you do your hair, you put on beautiful clothes. 打扮, right? 打扮. Okay, this is just for you to know it, right? Don't feel pressure to memorize all of these for now. So, for example, 我很喜欢打篮球. I really like to play basketball. 你想和我一起打球吗？打球 play ball. Here could be volleyball, basketball, just in general, play the ball sports. Okay, and then next one is the one that we just saw, 篮球, basketball, 篮球. So here, 篮, actually in Chinese, it literally means basket. If you want to say basket, 篮子, basket. For example, 走，一起去打篮球吧. Right? Let's go to play basketball together. And also, let's see the language point of text 1. So, it's called contracted complex sentence. But as we said before, don't force yourself to remember all of these terms. You just need to understand how does it work. So, the structure is 一 something, 就 something. Here, 就, how do we understand it? You can understand it as immediately. Right? Let's see the definition first. The contracted complex sentence 一 something, 就 something indicates that the second action occurs immediately after the first. It also means the first action serves as the condition or cause and the second as the result. So, for example, 你怎么一下课就往外跑？下课 is what? Finish the class, right? Class dismissed, finish the class. 往外跑, 往外跑, go outside, right? Or run outside. So here, it means, why would you run outside immediately after the class finish? Right? So, 一下课就往外跑. Let's see one more. 我一到家，妈妈就打来电话了。打来电话 gave me a call. So, as soon as the moment that I arrive home, mom gave me a call. Right? Immediately I return home, mom gave me a call. Right? Okay, and then third one, 一到星期六，陈天中就跟同学去打球。As soon as it's Saturday, immediately when it's Saturday, 陈天中 go play basketball with his classmates. Right? So this is the meaning. Now let's see. What about the structure? When the subjects are the same, the subject is placed before 一 or 就. When the subjects are different, the two subjects are placed before 一 and 就 respectively. Okay, a bit complicated, but let's understand it in the example. So first one, 你怎么一下课就往外跑? Here, the subject is the same, right? The person who finished the class and also the person who run outside is the same person, is you, right? So you can place you before both 一下课 and 往外跑 because it's the same person. But the difference, let's see the second one. 我一到家，妈妈就打来电话了。So this is the second situation here. When the subjects are different, they are placed before those two separately, respectively. So it's I come home, mom call me. Right? So you separate them, you don't put it together in the beginning. If you do it together, like the first one, if you say 我一到家就打来电话了。Sounds weird, right? It feels like as soon as you arrive home, you give someone a phone call instead of mom. Right? So we have to differentiate the two subjects. Now, let's see something special. The third one, 一到星期六，陈天中就跟同学去打篮球。So this one, which situation do you think it is? Is the first one right here, or it's the second one? Which one do you think? Because why this is a bit tricky? Because when you see the first sentence, the first half right here, it's kind of difficult to find the subject, right? If you want to see, maybe you think it's the second situation because you see the subject right here before 就. So you want to find another subject before 一到, right? But you didn't find it. Why is that? This is the special structure, sentence structure we talked about in Chinese before. So in English, the structure decides that you have to have a subject in the sentence. For example, if you want to say, it's Saturday. Saturday. So here, we have this it, right? It. But does it really have a meaning? No. It's a dummy subject, meaning that it's just a subject to put it there because the sentence structure requires us to have a subject. But in Chinese, the situation is different. For example, you can say 下雨了. In this sentence, there is no subject. It's just saying that because 雨 is not the subject, right? You understand? If we translate this one into English, how would it be? It will be, it's raining, right? Again, we see the dummy subject. It is raining. What is this it? It doesn't have a real meaning. It's just a dummy subject. So here, 一到星期六, the same as it's Saturday. In English, we have the it. But in Chinese, we can just say 一到星期六 without a subject. So that's why the third example is still the second situation where the subjects are different. Because the first one, you're talking about the date. The second one, you're talking about Chen Tianzhong going to play basketball, right? So that's why we can omit the subject here. So originally here, it should be the place for the subject. But because there is no, so we can just delete it and then we can just like say it simply. All right? Did you get it? Okay, very good. Now, let's move on to the second text. 天中，你是不是很喜欢打篮球？没错。你还喜欢什么运动？我还喜欢踢足球。一到星期天就跟朋友们去踢球。你踢得怎么样？我踢得还可以。Okay, very good. Maybe you see something similar, familiar, right? The two the here, right? The two the. 你踢得怎么样？ Asking how you play the ball. Like how good are you in playing football? So you're asking the result of an action. So you use this the. Good. Now, two questions. First one, 星期天陈天中做什么？ A. 学中文 B. 踢足球 C. 打篮球 Second one, 星期天陈天中跟谁去玩？ A. 李文 B. 同学们 C. 朋友们 Okay, let's hear it again and you can make your answers. 天中，你是不是很喜欢打篮球？没错。你还喜欢什么运动？我还喜欢踢足球。一到星期天就跟朋友们去踢球。你踢得怎么样？我踢得还可以。So, 星期天 what does he do? 一到星期天就跟朋友们去踢球。So the same structure we just saw, right? As soon as it's Sunday, he goes to play football with his friends. So we choose B, 踢足球. A is what? 学中文 learn Chinese, right? C, 打篮球 play basketball. All right. And then next one, 星期天 who, right? 陈天中跟谁 with who he hang out? 跟朋友们去 with his friends. So we choose C, B and C. All right, let's see the new words. You can read after me. 运动踢足球球得 Okay, let's see. First one, 运动 Earlier we were talking about playing basketball, playing football. So here, 运动, it's a general word to call all of these sports exercises. It can be both a noun and a verb. For example, 运动对身体很好. Here, it's a noun, right? So doing sports is really good for your 身体 is what? We say 身体, it means body, but here it also means for your health. So it's really good for your body. You can understand it as it's really good for your health. And here, 你每天运动多长时间? So here it's the verb. How much time do you exercise every day? So 运动. Okay. Next one, 踢. We hear in the text, right? So the word before 足球, it's not 打 anymore. It's not 打. Why? Because 打, we say that it's a movement that will include your hands. But 足球 is when you kick it, right? You will use your foot. So we see the same radical again, which means foot, right? 足 foot. So here, 踢 kick, 踢. For example, 踢球 kick the ball, 踢足球 kick the football, or play the football, 踢足球. 我喜欢踢足球 I like to play football. 请不要踢桌子 Please don't kick 桌子 the desk or the table. Okay, next one. 球 in general, 球 ball. 足球 篮球 Any other you know the sports that you play with a ball. For example, 乒乓球, right? 乒乓球. Ping pong. And then what else? We have 排球. That is volleyball. 乒乓球. Ping pong. And then what else? We also have 羽毛球. 羽毛球 is what? Badminton. So 羽毛球 is an interesting word. What is 羽毛? 羽毛. So if you say only 羽毛, it actually means feather. So the literal translation of badminton in Chinese is feather ball. Okay. So for example, 爸爸喜欢踢足球. Dad likes to play football. 你喜欢踢足球还是打篮球, right? Pay attention to the verb here. 踢足球 and 打篮球. Two different verbs to say play football and play basketball. Okay. And then 足球, right? We see it. 你喜欢踢足球吗? 弟弟每个星期天都踢足球. Okay. So here, let's see the language point of this lesson. We have actually already learned it from lesson 6 when we were talking about the 3 de together, right? But it's okay. Let's review it so that you can memorize it better. So the basic structure is verb plus de plus adjective phrase. And then what about the negative form? You say 不 before the adjective. Just like any other adjective, if you want to say it in a negative way, you say 不. For example, 不好, right? 不好,好,不好. Very simple. So, for example, 我踢得还可以. 踢 verb plus this 的 plus the result 还可以. 还可以 means what? 还可以. Not bad. Not bad. 还可以, not bad. Someone asks you, how are you today? You say, 还可以, right? It's okay, not so bad, but you're not saying that it's it's not also like something really good, right? You're just like better than just so, so 还可以。And then 他们玩得很高兴，玩的玩 verb 的 and then plus 很高兴 is the adjective, the result, right? The third one 白嘉悦跑得不快, right? This is the negative form. What about you want to say the positive form? What about you want to say she run really fast? Then you just remove the 不, right? 白嘉悦跑得快 she run really fast. 跑得不快 she doesn't run fast. So that's the structure. Then let's see, what about if we want to ask questions? The 3 interrogative forms. First, you add ma at the end of the sentence. The most straightforward one, really easy. 你跑得快吗? If you don't have the ma, just like this, 你跑得快, right? It's just a statement sentence. You run fast. But if you want to ask, do you run fast? Just add ma directly. Second one, verb plus the plus adjective plus 不 plus adjective. So this is actually not something new. We have seen this before, right? Adjective plus 不 plus the same, pay attention, it's the same adjective again, right? So for example, 好不好? Or you can even, not just adjectives, you can say verbs. 去不去, right? 你去不去? Do you want to go or not? 吃不吃, right? 你吃不吃晚饭? Do you want to eat dinner or not? Right? So this is exactly the same meaning as just adding ma. So here you just put it right back in this structure and then you have it. For example, 他来的早不早? Did he come early or not early? So in English, you might translate it word by word like this, but in Chinese, actually, it doesn't sound weird. It's a very natural way of saying it. We'll say, 他来的早不早? Did he come early? Okay, third one, you just add the plus 怎么样? What does 怎么样 mean? 怎么样? How is something, right? You're asking about a description of something. If you just have how, then it's 怎么, right? 怎么, how to do something. 怎么, for example, 怎么做, how to do. 怎么样, how is. Okay, for example, you say 他们玩得怎么样? So here you're not saying 他们玩得好吗 or 他们玩得不好吗? You're simply asking how is it? You're expecting a answer with a description. 他们玩得怎么样? All right? Okay, very good. So that is how we use the. Now let's do a really quick review of the other 2 the if you still remember. All right, okay, let's see. What about if we want to say adjective? I'm just going to say adjective plus which the plus a noun. For example, I want to say 美丽 and then which the 美丽的 I want to say 花 flower. And then second situation, if you have an adjective plus which the plus a verb right here. For example, you can say 高兴的 which the let's do a verb that we just learned 跑高兴的跑 run happily. So the first one we should actually use this the, right? This the is to connect a verb. And then the second one we should use this the. It is used to connect the verb, right? Okay, so that is everything about part 1 of lesson 7. As you know, my mission is to make this HSK marathon project free and accessible for everyone. So if you found value in my videos and truly want to master what you've learned today, the best way is to pick up my ultimate HSK companion workbook. I've designed it following 4 scientifically efficient steps: active recall for vocabularies, formula blocks for grammar, a smart writing section to break down characters for you, and most importantly, high-quality practice questions with detailed explanations to give you instant breakthrough. Grab your copy from the description below. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you in the next lesson.